Okay, hello all the crazy people out there. My name is Michael. I like wizards and dragons and making games. Welcome back to Bullet Hell. What did I even do last time? Last time was kind of a miscellaneous episode, wasn't it? In which some code was cleaned up. I used time sources. I responded to some comments because I can finally do that now that I'm not recorded like 10 episodes ahead. Today I'm gonna try and nail down menus, and by nailing down menus, I mostly mean like a title screen menu and that sort of thing. Once again. And I've said this constantly when it comes to the menus in this game, it's probably going to look a lot like the menus in Bombardier, because I lack the creativity to do anything else, just kidding. But it's a very simple game, it's a simple menu, and I think the menus in Bombardier work, and I kind of don't want to break what isn't broken, so let's go to the old project management board and look at what this look at what my past self has left for me today. This might be a longer episode. I know that as I go through a series of making a game, the episodes tend to get longer and longer because like the basic fundamental stuff like is done at the beginning, and what's left is a little bit more involved. But I don't want to spend any more videos on menu stuff than I have to in this series, and I've already done a lot of that. And I'm going to try and get through as many things on a title screen as possible today. So. The first three items on this in progress list, which is my like things to do in the next episode if possible. Pause state, back to menu, win lose menu, back to menu, win lose menu, next level. These I cannot do now until I have a actual title screen, and also other levels in the case of this one. Stop doing that. All right, don't click on these because that will open the card. Main menu title screen mode. So that's going to be that shouldn't be... How many points did I put down for that? Let me make this not full screen, but make it big enough that I can actually see what it is, and then I'll just move it over to my other monitor when I'm not looking at it. I put that down for like 15 points. I'm not sure if that might be a bit of an overestimation of how much work that's going to end up being, but in the game controller we have game states.playing, pause, and title. Having the title screen may not actually be like something we really need that much, because this is gonna like there's just gonna be no players and no enemies on the title screen, so it's not like there's any gameplay that could accidentally happen. But I'm gonna have it just to give a bit of a structure to the program, right? I will, however, initialize state to instead of GameStates.playing, I'm going to initialize the state to GameStates.title. That on its own probably won't change much, because I don't think like gameplay still happens as of right now, because the player like exists and the enemies exist and they're all running. I'm going to go and I'm going to slowly like have the game check the game state to see if we're in the title screen, to see if we can do gameplay things or not as we go on. But first, I'm going to make a folder called Rooms, and I'm going to do something that I almost never do, and that is going to be to actually make use of multiple rooms in this game. So let's duplicate room 1. Say room, actually, I'm gonna call that room template, because that's gonna have like the template for the waves and stuff. I might use room inheritance. I honestly kind of don't know how room inheritance works in GameMaker. And the first one that we started is going to be room title, and they're going to automatically alphabetize them in the asset browser. Some people do not like this, and if you I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but if you don't want GameMaker to automatically alphabetize your asset browser, you go into the filters for the asset browser and just say custom order, and that will put everything like in the order that it was created, and you can drag stuff around and reorder them yourselves. But I want my asset browser to be alphabetized. I think it makes it easier to find things. So there's that. There is, however, a room manager, and if you prefer to see that the room with the little house on it, which is the starting room, is actually one that the game starts in, go into the room manager and see that it's at the top of the list. Okay. That also will determine the order of like room go to next and stuff like that, if you're the sort of person who likes to use those. But anyway, in room title, I'm going to get rid of UI. No, I'm not going to get rid of the UI, but I am going to get rid of the waves. I'm going to get rid of the entity player in the instances list, and I think I'm going to, if I run the game now, the UI will just be turned off, right? Because when the, okay, that's cool. I don't have any waves. Otherwise, when the game controller collects the UI in the game with the room manager, it's going to automatically make them all invisible, right? Yeah. Alright, so that's gonna... The error that popped up when I ran the game is going to point us straight to the first thing that I'm going to need to do, and that is going to be to, let's see, in-room start. I am going to want to not do this if the game state is equal to... Or let's say if self.state is not equal to game states.playing. Okay, no. I will make it if this is equal to... Sorry, not equal to... I'm all over the place already. Not equal to title. Then we won't do this. And this should prevent the level from attempting to send in the wave of an enemy that isn't there. Oh, is this that actually looks like the same error, which tells me that... Oh, come on. GameMaker's doing that? Fine. I know that, this is really annoying. Brought this up last time in the last video because it was really starting to get on my nerves, but there is currently a bug in GameMaker where when you update GameMaker, any open code windows will not save unless you close them and reopen them, and that can be really annoying. It's been fixed in the latest beta, which came out today, which I have not downloaded yet. Hopefully it'll be pushed to the stable version soon, but alright, let's try that again. If self.state is not equal to game states.title, then we can do this. I believe we're also going to need to, and I started to go here before I noticed that GameMaker like broke on me and didn't save. If self.state equals game states dot playing, then we're gonna update the level. There shouldn't be anything in like the post draw event or the draw GUI event, should there? Okay, so I think there will be a check I have to do in the draw GUI event. If self.state is not equal to game states.title, the title screen state is going to be like the special case, I think. It's possible that like if I have an end credits title crawl, I might also consider that the title screen, and I might just have a special thing that can happen in the title screen, but this is going to be like non-gameplay stuff that happens. So I'm going to start there, and I think that should be enough so that the game doesn't like crash as soon as I start it, right? Cool. Okay. If I were to go back to GitHub LMAG, which I still don't have a better name for. Oh Jesus, what on earth? Oh, that's because I moved the rooms around, isn't it? I'm just gonna commit this all as one. There should have been two, but you know what? Who cares? So if I were to hop on back over to Hack and Plan, let's move title screen mode over to testing, because there's still... I'm pretty sure, like, all of the player and the enemy entities already checked to see if the game is in play mode before they try to do anything, and I'm pretty sure that won't be a problem, but I'm gonna leave card 88 here in the testing column until the end of the video when I've had more time to see if there's anything funny that's happening that I might have done and forgotten about in the past, but I don't think there should be. So next, title screen menu. So I'm going to start... I'm going to leave the UI gameplay here, and I'm going to go into like the room template and delete the UI folder. UI underscore gameplay is locked and locked to allow editing. That's great. Why? Oh, this one. Was that on purpose? I might have done that so that I didn't like accidentally mess with it. All of the UI in the game, so the gameplay, the title, the credits, whatever, is going to be defined in the title room. As I pondered earlier in the series, GameMaker has not, in fact, updated the engine. Yo-Yo Games rather has not yet updated the engine to make use of the fancy new UI layer stuff that they have on the roadmap. So I'm just gonna push that out of my mind until perhaps the next game that I make like this. Defining all of your UI in a room that's either like the title screen or the first room that you enter or some other initialization area is definitely a semi-common strategy for UI in GameMaker, and I'm going to have, for example, like in Bombardier, that was kind of not the same thing because there was only one room in Bombardier because I'm a weirdo. But I am going to define another, let's say a folder, and this is going to not be inside the gameplay folder, but it's going to be UI underscore title. Right, and let's move that to the top here. No, to the top. And we are going to have an object layer, and it's going to look kind of like, well, kind of like this. All right, if you watch the UI videos in Bombardier, you're going to know what's coming. Let me make a folder, and it's going to be title stuff. I'm going to put like a logo for the game in here, and for now, that's going to be more programmer art. Let's see, the ugliest, I'm going to call it SPR underscore title. The ugliest program art that I can imagine is going to be like, I think in Bombardier I had like a magenta background and black text, which was sufficiently horrendous. So if I were to make this like 320 by 240 or something like that, and this is going to be a magenta background, and it's going to be black text. You know what? It's programmer art. That's good enough. GameMaker's text tool in the sprite editor is even worse than the rest of the sprite editor. I've said this before. I don't have a burning hatred of the sprite editor. It does annoy me, but it's not like the absolute worst piece of like image manipulation tool I've ever used in my life. But I look forward to GameMaker giving it a bit of an overhaul in the future. So that's going to be our title. Did I say bottom center? I meant bottom middle center. Sorry. And we are going to, in the UI, graphical stuff, user interface stuff, all my folders are named like stuff. There's graphical stuff, user interface stuff, programmer art, and stuff. I need to get better at naming things. Okay, so there's actually SPR underscore the title of the game, which was the title in Bombardier. If I were to open that up, that would be that. That is a QA report to the font by Allison James, a prolific font creator in the GameMaker community. In case anyone was wondering, let me go create myself a layer. Let's just say new instance layer. I can go in here, UI title logo. Actually, you know what? Hang on. I can the title, the names of the. Really? Am I not allowed to have a full? I have UI gameplay the folder and UI gameplay the layer. GameMaker, I don't understand you. But UI title is going to just be a one of these. This is going to be a UI sprite that just has this engine. This engine, I'm telling you. Let's go to variable definitions. The anchor point should be FA, I think, center. I think they, in Bombardier, I had an anchor to the corner, but I think in this game I want it to be anchored in the center. I don't know if I'm gonna have any other UI sprite objects in the game, so let's just make this the title. All right, that's our title. It's gonna go in the center of the room, or maybe perhaps a little over to the center. I can get rid of SPR underscore the title of the game. And now I can also add some other things. Let me run this first. Wait, no, don't run this first. Let me actually draw the title screen layer. So I'm just going to add a bit of a positive if statement, so we're not going to be leading off with a not equals if possible. So if self.state equals gamestates.title, we're going to draw the UI underscore title. Otherwise, we're going to draw UI underscore gameplay, and that should render the barely like what you can call a logo. Unknown object.render could not be resolved. So I think that is due to like most of the UI in the game has one of those like those panels behind it. I don't know if I'm gonna do that in this game. And I feel like it's kind of questionable design to like force the block raycast object to exist, so we're only going to render that UI element if it exists. Alright. That made more sense in Bombardier because you're actually clicking into the game, and I see that... Alright. Am I going to have to actually align it to the actual center of the room? That would actually, I think, make things a little bit easier if I did. Not quite in the center of the room. We are 1092 wide. This would have to be 1092 divided by 2. This would have to be at 546 in the room. What's our position? 544. Oh, Game Maker, please. You're gonna be... I'm gonna need to remember to automatically align everything to the center of the room. That could be a problem. Anyway, now it's in the center. Alright, we've got a title screen. As soon as GitHub Desktop unfreezes. Which it will sooner or later. Alright, thank you. So, this is... I'm not going to move these cards over yet. I need a start game button, which is going to show the level select. Main menu level screen. That is, like... the same thing. I think what I had planned actually was to have like multiple saves in this game, because in Bombardier there's only one player save. Alright, I said that this was probably going to be a little bit longer than usual. Let me hide this. And let me bring in a few more buttons. UI underscore... God's sake. UI underscore button. This is going to be probably just gonna have... Alright, how much am I gonna have to fight this thing tooth and nail to keep it centered? 546 minus 384, because I want to have it centered. I could move it over to the corner, but I want to have it centered. 546 minus 384 is 162. 162 times 2 is going to be 324, so I'm going to need the width. And unfortunately, the size is going to be defined in scale instead of actual width. So we're going to have to do math. Sprite 9 slice is 48 pixels wide. 324 divided by 48 is going to be 6.75. At least that's a terminating fraction. All right, are we going to be... All right, well, we've got buttons, so this can say start game. If I go into variables here, the button name is going to be start game. And we can also have a quit. Quit should be easy. At least relative to what I've been doing. So if we have quit game, These aren't hooked up to anything yet, but we can make it hooked up to something in a short order. Start game, quit game. Okay, cool. Next, what's and for example, the pause. What is the actual function that is called? Alright, game controller.pause screen just is going to equal the name of the level. Okay, that's all it is. That's easy. So in the quit button, onClick is going to be a function which sets game controller.pause screen equal to UI title quit, and that can be a layer. Game maker. UI title quit can have maybe not one of those, but there is just a UI text object. Gonna need to make this scale 6.75. Probably make it taller. And it's gonna say I'm not sure if I'm going to need to insert a line break there or not. I don't think I will. I think that text is short enough that I won't need a line break. Anyway, there will be a yes again. I believe I said this before, but I want the yes to not be in the same place as the button that brought up the quit screen, just in case the user double clicks. I don't want them to accidentally click quit. So the button that's in the same position as the mouse would be when they click the quit button is going to be no. So in case they double click, it goes back to the previous screen. So the pause screen here can be UI title, and the onClick function for the yes button can be game end, like that. You could, since GameMaker works like this now, say onClick equals game end, and this will assign the function of game end to the onClick button, but since there's a decent chance that other people are going to be reading my code in this series, I don't want to create unnecessary confusion. Alright, so start game, quit. Quit doesn't do anything. Why does quit not do anything? Oh, I think I know why. And that is because I'm only rendering the title in the draw GUI like this, and I'm not like okay. So let's instead of doing this, let's say instead of always rendering the title screen, let's say title screen. I don't think that variable has been used for anything. Title screen is going to be UI underscore title, and that can be changed. Did I really misspell title over here? This can be changed depending on what we click on. Like this. All right. Same concept as before, but instead of using the pause screen value, we're going to be using the title screen value. Okay, that should bring up the menu, right? We've got menus. Quick game. That is not aligned, but otherwise no goes back. If I just keep clicking in place, we're gonna bounce back and forth. The yes is gonna. Okay, good. Like that. So we've got a quick game menu from the title. Start game, level screen, player upgrade, settings, quit, yes, no. This is now done. What happened to, did I move back? Did I accidentally move that back? When did I do that? I don't remember when I did that. But we're getting there. I guess title screen menu is technically what I just did this time as well. But let's take this one step at a time, shall we? You may be noticing that the background of this title screen is a little bit bare. That's like the next thing that I do. I think after I finish with menus is going to be actually putting things in the backgrounds, and I'm going to start moving towards the aesthetics of the game. So don't mind the void that's behind me right now. So I did say I wanted a like a proper like save select, and let's duplicate the title screen again. Let's call this UI save select, and if we go into the title screen, we can have the start game button navigate to this. On click is going to be function game, like that. And the save select is just going to be a actually, you know what? This would probably look more like the quit screen in terms of what if I were to copy and paste what would get me to the result fastest. In that there's going to be, let's say, 3 save slots. We can, of course, add more. But if I were to, can I... Is there, like... Is there no multi-select in the remit? There we go, it's the shift button. Let's move this up. There's going to be, say, 3 save slots and one back button. The back button should already be... Oh, fine. Did the creation code not get duplicated? I think that's happened to me before. So this is going to be the back button. Probably, I think, like, later on, when I actually get to saving progress and stuff, I would have, instead of just save slot 1, save slot 2, save slot 3, whatever, like, save slot 1, you have completed this many levels, this is your high score, that kind of thing. But for now, we can do with, the old-fashioned way. And these are all going to go to the same destination, but they're going to instead set a variable, and it's going to be like which save slot to save to. So game controller.title screen can be, I'm going to get a little ahead of myself and name the next one UI level select. How about? And I will set the variable for save select in a moment. Save slot 2, UI level select, and save slot 3, UI level select. Okay. And of course, that UI does not exist yet, but it will soon. Okay, I don't think a save select screen itself was on this to-do list. Main menu quit, yes or no? Did I... Have I been, like... I just did that. Why is... Alright, I don't know why... What's going on here? Why is it... Hang on a minute. Okay, is this actually just broken? Hack and plan. I have no idea what's happening to this website today. The status... Gonna have to shoot them an email after this. Okay. Whatever, I guess. Well, let's do this the hard way. Manually put you in the testing column. I was wondering why. Like I kept seeing things in this list that I could have sworn I already did. It's very weird. So start game is going to show a level select. Level screen, player upgrades, settings, collectibles. Did say that I want to have a collectibles menu. Let's start with a level select. That's probably going to be the biggest thing on here. If I were to duplicate this again, instead of saying it save screen, this can be level select. Like this. I think I will have a block raycast object here. Can I sort you to the back? Can I like hit control bracket like in Photoshop? No, okay. I can manually move you to the top / bottom of this list though. And oh, this is also going to be an absolute pain to center. What's 6.75 times 2? That's 13.5 for the scale. So let's set the scale to 13.5. X can be really, I'm going to eyeball it 2. I think that's good. Or it's close enough anyway. And then the level select can just be a text label. And there's going to be a back button. Like this. I think this already does say back. Alright, that already does say back. The code on click can send us back to the save select screen. Alright, and okay. If I go with, say, 12 levels again, as I had before, that will level 1. I think I called all the levels in Bombardier like the lands, like the woodlands, the flower lands, the desert lands, or something like that. I don't remember exactly. On click is going to be a function, and this is going to be something in the realm of like go to level. I'll fill that in later. But for now, let's just make these somewhat big and level selecty shaped. We're going to have 2, we're going to have 3. Centering this is going to be the actual worst. I can always... Alright, it might be time for me to stop trying to center things, since the first 3 menus that I did, the title quit, the save select, those are relatively small, but now that there's going to be a lot here, trying to center this might be more trouble than it's worth. So I think what I might do is I might just cheat, move this all off to the side. And like have like a preview image or something along those lines in the right half over here. And we'll just stop trying to be fancy with the centered menus. That might be the path of least pain to do that. Alright, that's a back button. That's a little long. Alright, that does have that, right? Okay. Let's see. If you'll give me a minute, I'm just going to go and properly label these, and also duplicate them so that there are 12 of them. Alright, so that is the level select. We have ourselves a, again, something that looks a lot like the menu in that other game. If I were to run it now, we should be able to run through, start game, save slot 1, and they're all off-centered. I need to fix the alignment on each and every one of these. Anyway, the buttons themselves don't do anything yet. They're not hooked up to anything. I'm sure I'll give these like real names later on. The other menus that I mentioned, so things like a player upgrades menu or a collectibles archive, I'll probably just put like little thingies on the side over here. But can I, alright, that's my recording folder. Can I go into the, like the room JSON and just do this all manually without having to go through the GameMaker UI? If I go into rooms, you have room title, and the answer to that is going to be no because they're not given helpful names. Okay, I'll see you in another minute. Much better. That's how it's supposed to look. So, if we were to actually, I think, yeah, I did say that I was going to let this go long and let it take however long it needed to, but hooking these all up to levels will do next. So one, let's commit a change. Added the level select screen. All right, that's pretty cool. Let me just make sure that all the back buttons work. I don't know if I tested those. Save slot 1, back, save slot 2. All right, so again, these all lead to the same place. They're just going to set a variable which indicates the save slot to use. Haven't gotten there yet. I guess I do not have any like player state data yet, do I? I guess I can just make that. Save data. It's gonna be, I'll make it an array. 1 is gonna be an empty struct, 2 is gonna be an empty struct, 3 is gonna be an empty struct. I'll replace those with like probably something along the lines of actual game data later, or a class or something like that, but right now it's just going to exist. Save data is going to be that, and let's say active save data is going to be save data index 0. All right, and now in the room editor we can say game controller dot active save data is going to be equal to save data index 0, 1, 2, whatever. We can do that here. Game controller dot this equals game controller dot save data index 0, because this is save 1. This is save 2, or I guess index 1, index 0, and index 2. Another really annoying problem that the GameMaker IDE has is sometimes if you click and drag to select code, sometimes it'll just like completely break. Like, and I don't know what causes it because it just happens seemingly inconsistently. Like it'll get stuck, and then if you try to get out of it by hitting the arrow keys, the cursor will go completely somewhere else. But yeah. Let's commit save structure, and now I can start to move over. Like, all my tools are just breaking at the same time today. It's really weird. GameMaker, I know, is just in a constant state of, like, being semi-broken and semi-fixed. Hack and Plan seemed to have gotten an update approximately yesterday. And it seems that I'm just, like, picked a really bad day to record where all these things come together on me. But, level screen. So if I were to move this to complete, it's not actually going to be complete. Where did it go? It did go here. Okay, I need to log points for it though. It went to the bottom. Right, fantastic. So this is the start game ended up. I'm gonna rename this to be the load save. I'm also going to log work for this. Let's call that, what was that, 10 out of 10? Again, the points are arbitrary. It's just what I expect this to come out to be, like, work-wise, amount of work-wise relative to all the other things. Let's see, title screen menu, that's also done. That was like the start / quit thing, because I separated that out for this game. And okay, settings, depending on if I get really tired of talking by the end of this, by the time I do the other things, I might save settings for later. player upgrades, I want to make a menu for that too. I'm not going to put anything in it because I haven't decided what that's going to be, but I want to like allocate space for it on the screen, and I want to have like the skeleton of what it's going to look like set up, and the same for collectibles. It's probably going to be like each level, if you finish it with a certain score or something like that, is going to give you a collectible, and I haven't decided what that's going to be. I'm considering asking like Patreon for ideas, or maybe there'll be like medals with a certain theme, so like the, I don't know, the gym badges of this game or something like that. I don't know. There's a couple directions I could take that. But yeah, let's start with player upgrades, and that's going to be another button here. Let's move it up here. I'm going to make it small-ish. I'm going to make the variable definition say upgrades. I might replace this with an image button that's like a wrench or something. Or wrench should be settings, but something like I don't know, some kind of icon aside from text. Haven't decided that yet. Let's make that a little bit bigger. UI title upgrades. I'll prefix it with title just in case I forget where it belongs, because I'm don't have a tremendously amazing attention span for these things. And there's going to be collectibles. It's going to be very much the same thing. UI title underscore collectibles. It's going to be part of the save data and settings. And UE title settings is going to look a lot like the UE settings in the gameplay menu, but probably with some differences, I think. Actually, what I did in Bombardier was the settings menu was one and the same, and it just like, if you hit the back button in when you were in the title screen, it just went back to the title screen, and if you hit the back button in gameplay, it just went back to gameplay. Might do something like that, but again, depending on how tired my voice is by the end of this, I'll leave that for later. I think settings can be down at the bottom. Would it be more efficient space-wise to do something like this? I need to anchor it to the sides of the screen, as always. I have to say, I am glad that the like the UI anchor point system that I wrote is robust enough that it just, if I set the horizontal and vertical alignment of an element, of a button, of a text label or whatever, it just goes to that corner of the screen no matter what the screen size is. And I am very glad that I don't have to fight with that, at least. That's probably the thing that most frequently annoys me about the Unity game engine, is that if you try to anchor an element to a corner of the UI, it won't stay there. And you have to then spend the next half hour figuring out what you accidentally clicked on that made it go all over the place. And yeah, I like not having to do that. So we've got some setup for the collectibles menu. I think UE title collectibles is going to look a lot like UE level select. It is, of course, not going to have all these buttons. It'll just have a back button. The back button is going to go back as expected. UE title collectibles. It's going to look like the level select if I run the game now. So if I were to go into there, go to collectibles, back is gonna bring us back. Let's change this to like collectibles you found or something like that. We can work on the verbiage later. And once again, I haven't decided what this is going to be. I'm definitely leaning in the direction of each level is going to have something that you get if you achieve a certain score or something like that, or some other metric. and when you unlock them, I don't know, there'll be like a picture, and then you can click on the buttons, and then you can get a bigger picture on the side or something like that. That could be fun. Yeah, right now they all say level 1, 2, 3, etc., and that's because it mirrors the level select, which is probably not honestly too far off from what its final design is going to be, but until we get there, until we get more content created in the game, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. That's the back button. Okay, so the creation code GML files aren't created until something actually has creation code. All right. So that's collectibles. There's also going to be player upgrades, UE title upgrades, and that's going to probably be a little bit on the different side. And it's probably going to be something like slightly increased health or slightly increased, I don't know, fire rate or something like that. And then, of course, there are, like, more fun gameplay things that aren't just numbers going up. But we can also worry about this later. Upgrades, probably, I don't know if you get a collectible, that'll give you a certain, like, say 5 points to spend on upgrades, and you can spec those around as desired. But let's get rid of all these buttons first, because I have absolutely no idea what set upgrades are going to be, and I don't want to push it in any specific direction until we get there. All right. Alright, that's a menu system. Settings is going to break the game because we do not have a settings object yet. Okay. There's a lot of objects in this level JSON now. I don't even have rooms with that much stuff in it, but I'm sure that like actual games that actually use the room editor can end up with an awful lot of like lines in that JSON file, and they can get really huge. Let's see. So I have, like, I think in the content sprint, I did write down some specific things to do with collectibles, and upgrades and stuff. Not really, actually. I'm going to have to at some point. So I think I'm going to mark these as, like, half done. Let's log, say, 5 points on this, and we'll put it in the testing column. And the same thing for collectibles. I will log 5 points on this for now and put it in the testing column. Because I am going to have to come back to these once I know what exactly the upgrades and collectibles are going to entail. You might say that this is the sort of thing I should have planned out before starting, but I knew that the design was going to change because I knew that I was going to be getting feedback and ideas from comments and that sort of thing over the course of development. So I knew that was going to probably not hold up for too long anyway. What the heck? Let's do settings menu. So if we go to the level select and go to the settings down here, this will be UI_settings. Creation code, instead of saying UI title settings, this is just going to go to the regular settings menu. And if I were to make this visible, the back button, if we are in the title screen, we can go back to UI_level select. And if we are not in the title screen, we're not in title screen mode, we can go to the pause menu. And that should That should just work because the pause menu itself doesn't interact with like the game state or anything like that. The pause menu, when during gameplay you hit the escape key, you do bring up the pause menu and you do set the state to paused, but that is something that happens on the side so that in gameplay mode the game knows what like screen to draw. But when you're on the title screen, it'll stay that way, and that's a little bit spaghetti, but it's also reasonably like simple spaghetti. It's not that much code or anything like that. And I think I should be okay with that. The other question I have though is when you hit the escape key, if state equals states.playing self.pause else states.unpause, I will want another state like that for title. If the state is the title screen and you hit the escape key, if self.title screen equals UI underscore pause. Actually, that won't work, will it? Because there could be other pause screens, and I closed the room editor, didn't I? There could be other pause screens that you enter. Okay, I'll just not have the escape key resume the game if you're in the settings menu in the level select, because really, why would it? The level select pause menu isn't like. All right, this is being drawn in the wrong place, but the settings menu in title screen mode isn't really a pause state or anything. So okay, so the back button is actually not working. Why is the back button not working? Did I close the room editor again? All right, the other problem is that the pause menu isn't centered, and that might be a little harder to that might be a little bit harder to solve. What's the alignment? Everything is center middle. Oh, the pause menu is off center in the room editor here, so that when I hit the pause menu in gameplay with the UI on the side, it is centered. First, did I actually test this? I don't think I actually tested this. I'm 90% sure this should be good, but alright, good. So it's a good idea to test these things anyway. If I set the language to pirate speak English, nothing happens, because apparently I haven't properly implemented that. I do want to spend some time on the language stuff later on. Someone did offer earlier to translate to Russian, which I think would be interesting. I think there are a lot of Russian game maker users. I think I do know of a couple. Brazilian Portuguese is probably the other like major language group that I think about when I think about like who plays game maker games and the game maker community in general. But I'll cross that bridge when I get there. So go to the settings menu from the. I think instead of centering it now, what I'll do is I'll complete this 10 points of work or whatever. But I will log on the bug board like a bug that I need to take care of. Alright, that was like a filter. But I will create a task. I will put it in the bug category when you go into the. Alright, assigned users. Alright, that's gonna be Feature Me's problem. I think, for what it's worth, if I recall, the pause menus do approximately, like, center correctly when you resize the game window. I think it's approximately correct, but I kind of don't trust it 100%, so I'll leave that warning in here anyway. The board should be on the backlog categories. Bug estimated cost is going to be, I'll give that a 10. Why can I not create? Oh, I need a title. All right, important. So that's going to be a bug. Should I give these an estimated cost too? That's going to be nothing. That's going to be essentially free, really. But I don't want to put it into 0 because all I'm going to have to like do for that is enter a. I'm going to have to enter a title into the like the game settings when I build the game anyway, and separate resolution scales for foreground and background. I'll give this a 10 also. It shouldn't be that difficult. Generally speaking, you probably care less about the scale of the resolution in the background, and it's probably easier to hide resolution shenanigans happening in the background of a bullet hell game than it is to hide resolution shenanigans happening in the foreground of a bullet hell game, because you if the foreground is pixely, it could become a little harder to play, so it's probably not something you want to do. Okay, so pause state, back to menu. I have been talking for a long time today, and I don't want to implement like the entire go to level system, so I'm gonna leave that for next time. All right, that's gonna have to wait until next time. So I put down the ideas for player upgrades here. Okay. I won't do that next time, but I will, I think, do the aforementioned like localization, string formatting stuff. I've got some ideas on how that's going to work. I definitely want to do these as well, though. Let's see. So next time, it's going to hopefully involve going to the levels from like the title screen. It's also going to hopefully involve localization stuff. That I don't want that to take a long time. I'm not going to do anything super complicated. If I have to translate the game into like a dead language that has a super weird opinion of like, I don't know, plurals or something, that could be a bit of a problem. I can't say it's only the like old ancient dead languages that are very different from modern English. There's our active language with many current like primary speakers who have rules that are different from English, but hopefully we'll be able to cover at least the basics tomorrow. This is where we are in Sprint 2. I believe I got a decent amount done today. There's a couple that I didn't close that I wanted to do today, but hey, we made progress. As for the project dashboard as a whole, we are showing 43% through the work item and 43% through the points finished, which is making progress. The bulk of the points are going to be in content and polish, I think. Yeah, there's a 550 there. Actually, all right, so 550 for Sprint 3, 415 for Sprint 2, 420 for Sprint 1, and 180 for Sprint 3, which is mostly going to be non-code stuff, I think. But, all right, that's where we are. So, I hope you all found that interesting. My name is Michael. I like wizards and dragons and making games. If you want the code for this, look for the GitHub repository down in the video description. This is going to be 0.15. Yeah. 0.15. Look for the 0.15 release. GitHub desktop, you're gonna open this in GitHub. There we go. Now it's gonna open like 4 of them. Look for the 0.15 release. That is going to be what we did today, and if this ever loads... Anyway, yeah, the 0.15 release is going to be title screen things. Let's see, what else? I try to post about 2 game dev videos a week. 1, let's make a game like this, and 1 tutorial, usually dealing with weird shader things, and also 3D and that kind of stuff, so if you're interested in any of that, feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, I have a Patreon, so if you want to contribute towards these videos being made, look for links to that in all the usual places. I will see you all later. Special thanks to Army Armbuster, DJ Gibbles, Edward Holt, Game Maker, Gunnar Clovis, Kiexi, Posho, Sindra Larson, Squarecrow, Then Nothing Happened, and Zenjamin for supporting these videos. If you want to see your name in the credits or hear yourself shouted out at the end like this, head on over to the Patreon page down in the video description to join the fun.